about it. So now it again, he's got three options. One is to retire, be done. The other is to say, I'm going to be a Steeler or a Giant. That's the options, one would think. I don't know if there's any other current option for him. And the third option is to wait it out. Run the risk that the Steelers and the Giants move on and say we're no longer interested. We can't be interested. We're no longer interested. And that leaves them with option Russ, option
Mason,
or Kirk Cousins.
You guys didn't like that one.
Well, we've seen the movie before in Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh would have basically, if Rodgers says no, I'm going to wait, and they move on, Pittsburgh has seen both movies before. The Mason Rudolph movie, which led to the Russ movie. And I don't know if they want to buy that ticket. And the Steelers can wait. The Giants can wait, too. I mean, they could sign Russ. They could sign, Flacco, still wait. They could wait and see how the rest of the draft order shakes out. Giants can move up. Steelers really can't move up far enough to get somebody that they might want. They could stay put and draft one. Yep. If they don't draft one, then Rodgers would be sitting out on the West Coast watching the draft, 2 fingers into a drink, and say, all right, now do you want me? Now do you want me? Which may all play into the fact that we haven't seen a trade yet of anybody moving into the first round, moving up into the first round, or moving out of the first round. We haven't seen any draft trades yet involving a first-round draft choice. And I think Schefter posted something this week saying it's the latest we've seen 0 first-round draft movement since the Chiefs traded for Montana 5 days before that draft to get Joe out of San Francisco and bring him to Kansas City. And so everybody, this is all just holding everything up. And the fact that there's no Vikings option for Rodgers might be saying, well, there's at this time. Let's see how things play out. He could pull a full Favre and wait to the summer and see who might need him at the last minute. And he can go traveling the world, keeping us talking about it nonstop. Which, by the way, I don't believe is his end goal. His end goal is, I don't know what it is, other than the fact that he's thinking it out.
Young, naive Rich Eisen.
I am not. I'm a mid-50s man who's not a complete cynic, thanks
Rich.
to Myles Garrett just yet.
Rich.
Speaking of something we've seen before, you've already been through this before with Favre, so you don't want to do this
I've
again.
seen this movie before, and we've also seen it with Rodgers before as well. But this appears to be the second time in 3 years that an NFC North team has told Rodgers, we're choosing the young kid. It's time for us to turn the page to our first-round draft choice we traded up to go get. It's the same story, just fill in the blanks, different proper names and locations and player names. And Rodgers has got to wonder, where do I have a best chance? Listen, if he's got 2 years to play, it's Pittsburgh, to be very honest. And that's with all due respect to the Giants and the people there that I appreciate and root for. It's the Steelers. There's no doubt about it. They're more ready-made, and they also have a more solid foundation in their front office and coaching staff. And I know John Mara would basically say, I kept the team intact. I kept that team intact. So why would you say something like that? But we all know that they're one more losing season away from blowing it up. And I don't know if Rodgers wants to be part of that anymore. And he might have PTSD since it's the same stadium, same state, same setup. He may not want to do that. As we're all waiting to find out how the chess pieces are on the board for Aaron Rodgers and the teams and how they're playing it and gaming the system to for Aaron, or Aaron is gaming the system and trying to get somewhere. Tom basically is saying the door's closed in Minnesota. It's not going to happen, and that it's J.J. McCarthy's gig. And Tom's tweet says, post today, that the team has rejected multiple trade calls on J.J. McCarthy, telling other teams they're moving forward with him as their quarterback. The team plans to add a veteran, but they're not pursuing Aaron Rodgers. Oh, there are the three words, at this time. And that is McCarthy now enters the offseason as QB1. Now, again, Tom's going to be on Friday, and news and information men and women always choose their words carefully. That's why they put at this time, because right now Aaron Rodgers could be on the phone right now at the Vikings closing a 3-year deal. Who the heck knows? Things change, plans change, ideas change. McCarthy could suddenly take the wrong step in his home, and then boom, something's happening. Heaven forbid. I know, but I'm just pointing out how things can change. Like last year, it was a full-on competition between J.J. McCarthy and Sam Darnold. J.J. lit it up in the preseason game, and it sure looked like he had a shot to be one of those first-round picks that gets starting right out of gate, and Sam Darnold's there as a backup. It is one of those guys with a little bit more experience to say, hey, JJ, let's look at this, let's look at that. In a similar situation to the guy with more experience in Atlanta with Kirk Cousins, and another top draft choice in the top 10 of last year's draft in Michael Penix Jr. Things can change. But as it is right now, let's take it one at a time. For the Minnesota Vikings and their fans who might be sitting there going, oh, okay, so we're going to go with the rookie from last year, and he's basically a rookie because he hasn't had a single snap other than preseason football and training camp before his knee needed season-ending repairs. And you might be sitting there going, okay, we went 14 wins last year, and maybe this isn't the right move. I'm biased. I'm completely biased. Obviously, we all know my institution of higher learning and the team that I adore, and how he made my
life better?
Life complete. Life complete. And I say this as a well-rounded man with a
tremendous family. Great jobs.
Made my life complete. He completed me. And the way he's gone about his business, he is beyond his years. He is truly beyond his years. We've interviewed him on this program. You guys have seen him. You've met him at the draft last year.
With him. He's great.
It was great.
He's beyond his years.
Yeah, he's the man.
Okay, and
old soul.
He's a guy who understands that he meditates. He talks openly about his what do you say, his OCD? Is that what he said he had? And so he is open and an open book, and somebody who totally understands what his role will be, and how he is a 22-year-old who's going to have to look at people like Harrison Smith and say, follow me. I will lead. He understands that, and he's got a coach who's going to coach him up. He's had a year in the room with Sam Darnold, and Josh McCown is his quarterback's coach, and you've got the right system around, and then you've got the right people to evaluate him. And you're going to go into the season. Yes, you need to add a veteran. I don't know who that veteran's going to be. Could it be Flacco sitting out there?
Flacco.
Winston is making the rounds right now. I guess he was with the Giants this week.